I really enjoy working with young entrepreneurs. They have such energy and such naivety about what it takes to run a business, but they're eager and they're energetic and they have dreams. And so working with one today, let me describe a little bit about what we went through and what we covered. We spent a lot of time really talking about what the goals were, what he wanted to achieve, where he wanted to build the business. And then we worked our way backwards and we built a business model. We did that using Excel and really walked through and captured what he wanted the business to do for him. He wanted the business to generate so much money for him. He wanted it to generate the money without him being there at a certain point. So we worked our way backwards from about a 12-year horizon, which is not unusual for an entrepreneur because the horizons aren't very long because there's a lot of pivoting and a lot of changes and learnings during that process. And we worked our way backwards and said, okay, if that's what you want, let's talk about what the team needs to look like, because you talked about, doing it without you hands-on in the business, and what the team needs to look like. And then we started to talk about, okay, how much do you need to generate? How much do you need to take home from the business? And we worked through that. And then we went through and said, if that's what you need, then let's talk about the margin in the business, and let's talk about what the sales needs to be, and how do you break down sales? Well, you break it down by the number of clients and the number of the dollar amount per transaction. And then you keep breaking it down and say, okay, well, if that's your transaction, then what's your conversion rate? And then if that's your conversion rate, then how many leads do you need to have? And we just kept breaking it down until he had a working model that he could change some of the numbers in, and he could adjust and begin to understand whether or not it was going to meet his needs and match his dreams. And then once we got down to the kind of the bare minimum, we said, okay, here's the team you need to have, and here are the leads you need to have. So you have the operational element and you have the leads, kind of the feed the front of the engine. And from there, we took that and said, okay, let's talk through the marketing plan. We didn't get into great detail in the marketing plan. We did have some time limitations, but his head was spinning. He had a lot of good information. He had never really seen his business look that way from a numbers, from a calculations, and from all the levers that he has available to him. So he's going to go back and he's going to play with that model, and he's going to look at the model, and he's going to look at different variations on the model and really start to think about, okay, how do I do this? And how do I get there from here? The next step is really a marketing plan, because now he knows how much money he wants to generate, what his leads, how many clients he needs, what's his retention rate. He has some history because he's been doing this for a few years. He just has been doing it as a young person and not as a business owner who wants to grow this business. So that's what you do to build a business model. If you're a young entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur at all, and you haven't really dissected your business model, it's a lot of just walking through the scenarios. And I'm happy to help you do that. We can get together for coffee. We can get together on a call. We can sit down and really talk about what your goals are, what your plans are, and what your model is to get there. This is PJ Weiland, your business prophet. Until next time.